I see the lines before they're drawn. I see the building. I see the load-bearing walls. Listen. Yeah. In the heart of the district where the marble feels cold, the story of the dinner gunman is starting to unfold. The tuxedos were pressed, the jokes were all rehearsed. In the Hilton's grand ballroom, the champagne was first. But outside the frame, where the camera don't lean, a muzzle flash fractured the Washington scene. Now he stands in the dock, feet heavy on the floor, facing the bench behind the heavy brass door. Assault on a federal officer, a dangerous weapon in hand, the blueprint of a felony across the federal land. They'll detail the scuffle, they'll detail the threats, setting the stage for a debt that hasn't been collected yet. See the lines on the page, see the way they intersect. It's the geometry of power, the silent architect. They use the high-profile case to pour the concrete deep. A legal blueprint for the promises they mean to keep. The charges, the cantilever holding up the weight of a broader suppression, designed by the state. I've looked at these drawings, I know where the load-bearing stays. 18 USC 11, loving is a phrase with 100 ways to be stretched and expanded until the perimeter grows, covering the protest, the picket, the whistleblower's prose. It's a specialized bracket held in powerful hands to reinforce the beam where the authority stands. They use the assault to expand the federal reach, closing the gap between the action and the speech. If a voice gets too loud, if a finger is pointed in the room, the precedent set here becomes the structural tomb. They aren't just charging a gunman, they're testing the sight to see how much of the Bill of Rights they can pull from the light. My grandfather told me, a wall is just a promise of where you can't go. The law works the same way. They don't build the whole prison at once. They wait for a crisis to lay the first stone, to set the mortar. And once the mortar dries, nobody asks why the wall is there. Every new charge is another surveyor's mark. I see the wall before the first stone is even set. I'm an architect of patterns, I see the load-bearing lies, the way they use a crisis to mask a surprise. From the docks of the South to the Chicago street, whenever the power and the people finally meet, they reach for this charge to turn a scuffle to a crime, defining dissent by the height of the bar every time. If the officer is the shield and the charge is the sword, carving out a silence that we can't afford. The architecture is set, the mold has been cast, a future built on the stones of a disciplined past. See the lines on the page, see the way they intersect. It's the geometry of power, the silent architect. They use the high-profile case to pour the concrete deep. A legal blueprint for the promises they mean to keep. The charges, the cantilever holding up the weight of a broader suppression, designed by the state. The building is rising, I see it in the dark. The court will adjourn, but the precedent stays on the board. No one builds a wall to stand alone. Structure never sleeps.